45 minutes before we started the interview. I don't know if you saw the story or not. Literally just came out from New York Post 45 minutes before you walked in. Iran claims it can build nukes, threatens Israel and U.S. with tooth-breaking retaliation, 10-12 Eastern Standard Time. I think we started after that at 11 o'clock. Go a little lower, Rob. So Iran claimed it could build a nuclear weapon as supreme leader on Saturday, threatened the U.S. and Israel with tooth-breaking response to Israel's strike on Iranian military legend. Ayatollah Khamenei spoke with students ahead of the anniversary of 1979 seizure of the U.S. Embassy in Tehran. The enemies, whether the Zionist regime or the United States of America, will definitely receive a tooth-breaking response to what they are doing to Iran and the Iranian nation and to the resistance front. And he continues, if you go, this is at 85 years old, go a little lower, Rob, if you could. And the comments came after David, top advisor, issued a warning about Iran's nuclear capabilities. Advisor Kamal Gharazi said Friday the country could alter its policies on using nuclear weapons if the threat seems big enough. Go a little lower. If an existential threat arises, Iran will modify its nuclear doctrine. We have the capability to build weapons and have no issue in this regard, he said. Your thoughts on this?
Yeah, this was yesterday, and he basically said we're only limited by a fatwa that has forbidden us to go towards that direction. In other words, we can change that any time. But in that context, let's remember one thing. How fragile and vulnerable this regime is. They are basically puffing and huffing a lot, but the fragility of this regime comes down to Ali Khamenei himself, who, by the way, he is the one who is the problem, not the people of Iran. Iranian people don't want war. He does. But imagine a tent, and he is the pylon or the, whatever you call it, that keeps the tent up. The minute he's gone or is weakened, it will collapse. There are too many fractions within the regime fighting over power and inheritance. This is going to become even more relevant. You cannot depend, until now it's been Ali Khamenei having the final word and controlling every aspect of Iran's structure, whether it's the intelligence, whether it's the military, whether it's the Sepah, whether it is all the instruments under his watch. I don't think that his successors, including his son, will be able to maintain that apparatus of state any longer. Which goes back to your question, how did they survive for 45 years? Because this has been, and unlike the Soviet Union, who, by the way, had several different leaders, from Leonid Brezhnev all the way to the last one being, of course, Mikhail Gorbachev, before Yeltsin finally came in, Iran has had only one leader since Khomeini, and that was Ali Khamenei. So you're talking about an absolute religious dictatorship under the control of one ultimate man at the top of the pyramid. That will collapse eventually. So these are opportunities that will present itself to the Iranian people. They will also understand what I was arguing earlier, that this regime will continue. Now, regardless of what kind of a nuclear deal you may have with them, it will continue fomenting regional conflict. It will continue taking hostages. It will continue supporting, all sorts of other methods. That's not going to disappear.
The hate towards U.S. is not good. The hate towards the U.S. and Israel is not going away.
And that's the part that I think you need to understand, that even if you say, you know what, we don't need to get involved in the Middle East anymore, well, they won't leave you alone. They will, in fact, force you. And the chances that you'll be forced back into the equation, this time dealing with a much higher state of conflict, will come down in the long term. So I am with you on this, Patrick, that this is now a moment that we need to be able to utilize. I think the Iranian people are ready more than ever. I hope that our counterpart, as far as one foreign key government is concerned, America, is also ready, only in the sense that that paradigm that has shifted in Iran proper needs to also shift in Washington in terms of foreign policy. Are we still talking about appeasement or dealing with the regime or trying to ask for a behavior change? Or are we this time saying we have their backs to the wall, let's throw the knockout punch? Not by America doing it for us, but by helping the Iranians have the best chance to succeed. And that's all we're asking for at the end of the day.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw or not. Ayatollah Khamenei's X account was suspended. I think Facebook, Instagram, everybody. If you go,
but he tweeted something in Hebrew, and they instantaneously blocked him.
What did he say?
I'm not sure what he said.
Zoom in a little bit, Ron.
I didn't see the translation, but that was about a couple of days ago, I think.
Earlier on Monday, brief note, suspended account, the X-suspends account, violate the X rules. The suspension occurred following Israel's first open strike against Iran in response to a ballistic missile. So it wasn't immediately clear what the X's violation was. Go a little lower. Elon Musk, social media, Khamenei's speech on Sunday, Israel strike in response to ballistic missiles, which saw 200 missiles, should not be exaggerated nor downplayed, will stop in a column of retaliation. The newly suspended X account, which was created on Sunday, began with a message in Hebrew that read, "In the name of God, the most merciful," a standard Islamic greeting. The second post referred to Khamenei's speech and was sent to English account as Zionists are making a miscalculation with respect to Iran. They don't know Iran. They still haven't been able to correctly understand the power, initiative, and determination of the Iranian people. Go a little lower, Rob, if you could. And then here it says Khamenei has maintained multiple accounts for 85-year-old X for years, has sent messages in a variety of languages in the past. This is not the first time he has used social media. Social media account has been suspended. In February, Meta, Facebook, Instagram removed accounts associated with Iranian leader due to express support for Hamas following the group's support attacks on Israel on October 7th when Iranian-backed militant group Hamas, the operation. Okay. Yeah. So,
it's really laughable when Khamenei says that they don't understand the Iranian people. In fact, he doesn't understand the Iranian people. And even worse than that, he doesn't care about the Iranian people at the end of the day.
Do you think Iranian people know that?
As I told you, they are on the streets proving that. They say death to the dictator. They are willing to risk life and limb just to make the point that we are tired and fed up of this regime. How long will the world continue letting these animals continue to threaten not just Iranians, but everybody in the region and beyond?
Yeah, there was two clips of females. Rob, if you can bring one, just bring up both of them if you don't mind. I will show the first one, and if you can moderate this. One of them was a young girl who, a soldier, a private. Go to the other one first, Rob.
I stored these two things today.
Right, that's
Instagram,
exactly. You shared with me earlier. This is shown by Manoto official. If you can play this clip, and if you can moderate what's going on here. Go ahead.
Well, this was a muted clip, so we only have this is CT cameras in Tehran. So this guy's trying to come and intimidate and at the same time said something to her, and now she's responding in plain view. I mean, this is a woman unveiled.
In Iran?
In Iran.
What city?
In Tehran,
do you know the
I
city?
think
Tehran?
it was. Reacting to I think it was Tehran. I'm not 100% sure.
Wow. That was pretty...
I mean, that shows that, in plain view, they wouldn't have done that 5 years ago.
Well, listen, I mean, Dana White may reach out to her and
but
have her
what's
going to
even more
UFC.
shocking is the next one, which is very telling.
Go to the next one, Rob.
So this is in a university in Iran. And these are girls filming it from the window. The campus security, she probably was not wearing a hijab. Not only did she not put back her hijab, she took her clothes off in plain view. Look at her.
What's her attack by mobilized forces or university guards force of hijab?
They keep harassing people into. These two
this
women.
This is pure example of defiance, is what you're talking about.
I mean, to the point that she knew she was going to get arrested. She did get arrested. On my way here, I was watching this, Patrick. But look at that. Who would have thought that in Iran, you would see something like this?
What happened to her?
She got arrested. The last thing I know, about a couple hours ago on my way here. What they would do to her?
Do you know what they're going to do to her if she got arrested? And she's attractive. I mean, for her to have the audacity to do this?
But what I'm trying to tell you is she's doing this hoping that not only Iranians see that, but people here in the West see that.
How old is she?
I
19
wonder
years
how
old,
many
20 years
outlets
old?
here in this country, the media, will ever show this, as opposed to showing pro-Hamas demonstrations in Tehran.
It's a lot of courage to do that. Good
I'm
for
telling
her
you.
courage. No, that's a lot of courage.
And what keeps me going at the end of the day, Patrick, what makes me be sitting here talking to you, that I'm willing to give my life up to free my country, it's only because of them. It's because we cannot be indifferent to that. Because we cannot sit back and say, you know what, how could we let this happen? That's what I'm in this for. Not for me. For them.
If you were interested in this topic with Crown Prince Reza Pahlavi, odds are you're Middle Eastern, maybe you're Iranian, Armenian, Persian, maybe you're living in the Middle East, or maybe you're an American that wants peace in the Middle East. The last 13 years, I wrote this book called The Academy. It's a very interesting thing. I talk about his father. I talk about moments why the revolution took place with this character named Asher, who is half Assyrian, half Armenian, and he gets recruited to the secret society. And the villain in the book is the former deputy director of Savak, who is in the book breaking down why the fall of Iran took place, what mistakes that were made. And very interesting what happened when I wrote this book. I never wanted to publish this book until I finished building my insurance company. I published a couple months ago. Something very strange happened when I was at the tail end of finishing this book. I get a call from somebody saying the former deputy director of Savak wants to have a call with you. I said, the former who? Deputy director of Savak. They don't know the villain is in this book. That person had read the book. I have a Zoom with the deputy director of Savak. He reads the book, calls me back immediately. I need to have another part 2 with you. Did you write this book about me? Am I the villain in the book? I need to come and meet with you face to face. He comes to my house. My dad meets him. My wife meets him. We have an 8-9 hour meeting together at the house because of what perspective he had that caused Iran to fall. Some of that is documented in this book. Again, this is a fiction book based on true stories. If the topic of Iran, the revolution, leadership interests you, I think you would really enjoy reading this book, The Academy. You can go to Amazon or a QR code here to order the book. I look forward to having you read it and posting a review on Amazon because I read every single one of them. Enjoy the read. If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.